Hello there, and welcome to your neurophysical assessment. My name is Calliope, and I am going to be testing you on a variety of different aspects, from your cognition to your hearing to your motor function, sensory function. It's going to be a pretty comprehensive examination. Now, to start, I'd just like to ask you a few questions. Firstly, would you mind just confirming your name and date of birth? And is that your preferred name? How do you like to be addressed? Now, just want to ask you a few different cognition questions. It'll be quite brief, but important nonetheless. Firstly, where are we? Where are we at? City, the building, even the room, if you can remember which room we're in. Very good. And what time was your appointment? What time was your appointment at? And why is it that you are here today? What are you receiving this examination for? Wonderful. We are alert and oriented. Very good. Now I'm going to be doing a very short cognition test. This is called the Mini-Cog. And I am going to tell you 3 words. I'm going to have you repeat them back to me, and then I'm going to have you remember those words, and I'll ask you about them in a little bit. You ready? Cherry, kite. Square, cherry, kite. Like a kite you would fly on a warm summer day. Can you repeat those back to me? Square, cherry, kite. Excellent. Now, I am going to have you do a little drawing for me. I don't imagine you thought there would be a little art test in this, but it's actually very important. I have a blank sheet of paper. I want you to draw a clock face for me. An analog clock face with the numbers and everything. Can you do that for me? Yep, just draw a clock face. Yep, and put the numbers. drawing 5 minutes until 4. 5 minutes until 4. What would that look like on the clock? Check. Not too bad. Not too bad at all. Good. So now that we've gotten our art portion out of the way, what were the 3 words that I had you remember just a couple minutes ago? What were those 3 words? Square, cherry, kite. Very good. Now we're going to test some of your cranial nerves. And for this exam, we're not going to be testing the first cranial nerve, the olfactory nerve, and instead we're going to jump right to 2. And I am going to hold up some fingers. And I just want you to tell me how many fingers in total you see me hold up. So for example, if I did this would be 4 fingers, right? I want you to just look straight at my nose. And if you could tell me how many fingers I am holding up. 5. 4. 3. 3. 2. 4. 6. 2. 3. 5. 4. 1. Excellent. To test cranial nerves 3, 4, and 6, the oculomotor, the trochlear, and the abducens, I'm going to have you follow my fingers in a specific way so that I can test all the cardinal directions of gaze. Make sure that there is no impingement in that movement. I'm going to have you just focus on my 2 fingers here and follow the fingers as best as you can, using only your eyes without moving your head. Good. Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Good. And down. And up. And down. And if you could just keep focusing on these fingers here, right? And then in and out, in, out, in, and switch here. Focus on these two fingers. In, out, in, out, in. Good. And now I'm going to have you just follow my fingers back and forth as best as you can. Right? Start here. Focus on my fingers. Good. Testing your smooth eye movements. Good. Just back and forth. Okay. And now we are going to be testing your quick eye movement. I'm going to have you look at one finger, the other side, back and forth. You do that? Just look here, the other side. And forth and back and forth. Very good. Good. Okay. So, eye movement looked great. Your accommodation reflex is good. Pursuits and saccades look good. Trigeminal nerve, and this is going to be the nerve that governs your sensation. I'm going to first be touching your face so that I can make sure that you can feel that touch, and then we're going to work with the soft, sharp test. Now, from this point onwards, I am going to need to be touching you. Is that okay with you? Do I have your permission to do that? Wonderful. Thank you. So, I'm going to be touching around the 3 branches of the trigeminal nerve, the ophthalmic, the maxillary, and the mandibular. So just let me know if you feel the touch. Good. And does that feel the same on both sides? Good. And does that feel the same on both sides? What about this? Good. So I'm just going to be touching at random. I want you to let me know where you feel it. Good. 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 Mm-hmm. Yep. Good. Mm-hmm. Excellent. Now, let me grab our soft and sharp tools. In my handy dandy neurological hammer, the Trömner hammer, I have a little brush and I have a little pointed tip. I am just going to be either touching you with the tip or the brush. I just want you to tell me whether you feel the soft touch of the brush or the sharp touch of the metal tip. Sharp. Sharp. Soft. 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 Sharp. 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 Soft. Sharp. Soft. Soft. Sharp. Sharp. Excellent. Now there are just a couple other tests I want to do with the trigeminal nerve. The first one is going to be a little uncomfortable, but this is the Cranial Reflex Test. So I have just this little bit of cotton, and I'm going to very gently just touch the cornea. And what should happen is both eyes blink. So I'm just going to very gently just touch. Yes, yeah, that's not a fun one. I'll give you just a moment to blink that sensation out. And then we're going to palpate around the muscles of mastication. So I am just going to feel around the masseter first, and you also have the medial and lateral pterygoids in this area. And I'm going to have you clench your jaw, release, clench your jaw, release, clench, release. Good. And then we have the temporalis muscle as well, right up here. Have you clench your jaw, release, clench, release, clench, release. Wonderful. So that's all for cranial nerve number 5. Now for your facial nerve, I'm going to be having you do a few expressions. And we're going to be comparing the upper part and the lower part. So first, if you could just close your eyes real tight for me. Good. And can you raise your eyebrows? Good. And can you smile real big? Very good. And can you puff out your cheeks? Excellent. Very easy one. Now we're going to move on to testing your hearing. I am going to be rubbing my fingers together, creating a soft sound. I just want you to tell me what side you hear that on. Just tell me what side you hear my fingers rustling together. Mm-hmm. Good. Mm-hmm. Yep. Mm-hmm. Yep. Good. Very good. Now we're going to be taking a peek inside your mouth, and I have one more slightly uncomfortable reflex. So I am going to be looking at your uvula, and I'm also going to elicit the gag response. Okay, so I'm going to be very gently, very quickly, just touching the back of your throat with my tongue depressor, and that should elicit that reflex, right? So I'm just going to have you open your mouth for me, please. And I'm going to put this on your tongue. And if you could just say ah for me. There we go. Okay, so I'm just going to very gently. Yeah, it's not a nice feeling, no. Okay, but that should be it for the uncomfortable reflexes. Now I'd like to real quick test your accessory nerve and the hypoglossal. Even though hypoglossal is last, we're going to test that real quick. So I'm going to have you stick out your tongue for me. Good. And if you could move it to the side, the other side, up, down. Good. Okay, you can put your tongue back in your mouth, and we'll go back to cranial nerve 11, and I'm just going to have you shrug your shoulders. Yep, that's it. Just shrug your shoulders. Good. Now I'm going to have you pitch them up, and I'm going to try to press them down. I want you to resist me. Okay, keep them up, keep them up. Good. Good strength in that. So, we're going to be moving on to the motor function portion of the assessment. I'm going to first test the tone in your muscles as well as the strength. And then we'll be getting into the sensory part of the examination. So let's start with tone. So at tone, I am going to be passively moving your muscles around. I'm going to have you relax the extremity, and I'm just going to be moving it around. So we have the wrist, the elbows, the knees, and the ankles primarily. So I'm going to start with this arm. If you could just let it go loose. Right, and I'm just going to move it up and down and move the wrist a little bit. Okay, and the other arm, just let it completely relax. And then we're going to move up and down and move the wrist. Good. And for the legs, I'm going to have you let them go loose and floppy. We're going to grab the foot and the calf. We're going to bend the leg a little bit. And we're going to move the foot around. Okay, and the other side. Let it go loose and floppy. We'll bend up. And then move the foot. Okay, so tone looks good. And we're going to be doing some motor strength tests. So firstly, I am going to have you hold up your elbows to about shoulder height, and I am going to try to press down on the elbows, and I want you to resist me pressing down. Good. And now if you could put your arms up like this, and I am going to try to bend your arms forward towards me, and I want you to resist me. So I'm just going to... Good. Very good. And I'm going to have you splay your fingers like this. I'm going to try to push them together, and I want you to resist me doing that. Okay, splay your fingers. I'm going to try to push them together. Very good. Okay, let's take a couple of notes. I'm going to have you put your arms straight out in front of you, and I'm going to try to bend them. I want you to resist me. Good. And now I'm going to have you squeeze onto my fingers here. Okay, and I'm going to try to pull you towards me, and I want you to resist me. Okay, very good. And now we're going to be working with the lower extremities. So first, I want you to bring up your knee so that it's off of the table, and you can put your hands behind you or grip onto it if you need to. I'm going to try to push your knee down, and I want you to resist me. Okay, put the knee up. Okay, and I'm going to try to press down. Good. And the other side, if you could lift up the knee. I'm going to try to press down. Good. Now I'm going to have you extend the legs outwards, straighten them. I'm going to try to press them down so they bend at the knee. I want you to resist me doing this. Okay, so go ahead and straighten them out. Then I'm going to try to press them down. Good, okay. I am going to have you put your legs back down, and I'm going to hook my hands behind your legs at your calves. I'm going to try to pull you towards me, and I want you to resist me. Good. Now I want you to point your toes upwards towards the ceiling, and I'm going to try to press them down. I want you to resist me doing this. Good. And now if you could press your toes down, and I'm going to try to press them up. If you could resist me. Okay, very good. Good strength. Now we're going to be testing the sharp sensation and your vibratory sensation on your upper and lower extremities. I'm going to start with the sharp sensation, and I'm going to be starting at the hand. And I just want you to tell me if you feel this sensation and if it feels the way that you think it should. Okay? I'm just going to run this on your hand. Okay, and the other hand. And did that feel the same on both sides? Okay. And now I'm going to run from distal to proximal up the arm, and I want you to tell me if that all feels the same. Okay, that all feel the same all the way up? Okay, and the other side. Did that all feel the same all the way up? And did both sides feel about the same as well? Okay, so let's test our vibration a bit. The tuning fork that we're going to be using is a 128 hertz tuning fork. This is going to have a very low tone. For that reason, you're probably not going to hear it, but I am going to be putting the tuning fork at the joint, most distal joint of your finger. I want you to tell me if you can feel it vibrating. Can you feel this? On the other side. Okay. Feel this? And does that feel the same on both sides? Okay, and I'm going to be doing that on the finger, the wrist, and the back of the elbow. I want you to tell me if it all feels the same. Finger, wrist, Did that all feel the same? Finger, wrist, back of the elbow. Okay. Finger, wrist, back of the elbow. Back of the elbow. Did that all feel the same to you? Okay. So now we're going to do those two tests on the lower extremities. First, the sharp sensation test. I'm just going to run this across the foot. Can you feel that? Okay. And what about on this foot? Does that feel the same on both sides? It does. I'm going to run up the foot and along the leg, distal to proximal, and I want you to tell me if that all feels the same all the way up. Does that all feel the same? Okay. What about on the other side? It does as well. And do those feel equal on both sides? Good. And we'll bring in our tuning fork. I'm going to put this on the big toe joint. Okay, you can feel the vibration there. And does that feel the same on both sides? Okay. Now I'm going to do this on the toe joint, the ankle, as well as the knee. Toe, ankle, knee. Did that all feel the same? Does that all feel the same? Okay. That all feel the same? Knee. Okay. And that all felt the same. Very good. We're going to be testing your reflexes, and then we will be getting into the gait and coordination parts of the exam. These are going to be the last parts of the exam. So we're going to start with the Babinski reflex. Babinski's reflex. And I will be using the blade of this Taylor hammer to stroke the outside of the foot. I just want you to relax the feet and just going to stroke up the outer edge. Good. Good. The other side. Good. And that's going to be it for the Taylor hammer. Now the Trömner hammer is going to be what we use for the Achilles, patellar, biceps, triceps, and jaw jerk reflexes, the deep tendon reflexes. So I'm going to hold your foot slightly up, and I just want you to relax your foot, relax your leg. I'm just going to gently hit the Achilles tendon. Good. The other side, just gently lifting the foot a little, create some tension. Relax the foot. Good. And the patellar reflex, pretty easy. Okay, just going to let you relax the leg here. Good. And the other side. Okay, it's the easiest one to elicit. Now we're going to do the biceps reflex. I'm going to put my hand around your arm and just put my thumb in the crook of your elbow. I'm going to be tapping on my thumb. Just have you relax the arm. See the tendon jump a little. And on the other side, just putting my hand. Good. And now for the triceps reflex, I'm going to be holding your arm like this and tapping the back of your elbow. So I'm going to just pull your arm up and let it go loose and heavy. Just going to take the weight. Good. And the other side, just bring that up. Let it go floppy. Good. Easy as pie. Now for the jaw jerk reflex, I'm going to have you just slightly open your mouth, almost as if just apart the teeth. And I'm going to put my thumb right in that divot of the chin, right here. I'm going to very gently just tap on my thumb. So keep your mouth just slightly open. Good. Very good. And you can close your mouth. We're going to be testing your gait for very last, but we're going to do a few coordination tests. And firstly, I'm going to have you just touch your nose with your finger, and then you're going to touch my fingers here. You're going to have to reach a little bit. So, for example, touching your nose, touching my fingers, touching my nose, touching my fingers. Okay? So if you could just touch your nose and touch my fingers. Touch your nose. Touch my finger, nose, finger, nose, finger, nose. Very good. And now to test for Dysdiadochokinesia, one of my favorite words. I'm going to have you put your palms together, and then I'm going to have you flip your hand over. Flip it back, flip it over. and then do this as fast as you can. You do that, palms together, flip the hand over, palms together, back and forth. Very good, and we'll switch sides. Palms together, flip the hand over, and then back and forth. Dysdiadochokinesia, the inability to perform rapid, repetitive movements. Very good. And then I am going to have you do the heel to shin test. I'm going to have you lay back. We're going to do a couple different tests while you are laid back. So as you're laying back, I'm going to have you bring your heel of your left foot, and you are going to be running it down from knee to ankle. So if this is my knee, this is my ankle, and this is my heel, be bringing the heel down, up, down, and up, sliding it back and forth. You do that, so this heel goes to the knee, slides down to the ankle, back up, back down, back up. Good, and the other side. Can you flip so that your other heel is at your other knee and slides down and up? Very good. You can relax your legs. So I have a couple of functional strength tests. Goes along more with the motor part of the exam. I'm going to have you touch your chin to your chest as best as you can. You can do that a couple of times. Just touch the chin to the chest. Okay, and if you could come back to sitting. Good, and I am going to have you raise your arms above your head, both arms. Okay, and now I'm going to have you make a fist, and I want you to blanch or whiten, make the skin of the knuckles more pale. So if you tightly close the fist, you can see the skin blanch or become more pale. Very good. And then we're going to test something known as a pronator drift. So I am going to have you outstretch your arms and keep your palms up. Okay? Good. And if you could close your eyes, and we are going to wait just a little bit. Your body's balance system works in a few different ways, and it actually uses 3 systems, and vision is one of them. It needs 2 systems to function correctly, so if we don't have vision and you're still doing all right, that means the other 2 systems are doing okay. If you're not, that means one of those systems is impaired, and it probably would have been something we would have caught on to earlier with some of the other tests. So last thing, you can put your arms down. We have just a few more functional strength tests, then we test gait, then we're done. So I would like you to stand up from where you're sitting without using your hands. So hands free, you could get up. Good. And if you could squat down and then get back up. Takes a lot of body strength, it does. Yep. And I have a chair right over here. If you could step up onto that chair with one foot, bring your body up and back down. You do that? Good. And can you do that with the other foot? Bring it up and back down. Good. And now the walking tests. I'm going to have you walk to the other side of the room normally. Just going to watch your gait, how your arms swing. And if you could come back walking on your toes, tips of your toes. Good. I actually walk like that all the time. No flat-footed walks for me. And if you could walk back on your heels. Yep, on your heels. I don't walk like that. I imagine there might be some people who do though. And now this time I'm going to have you tandem walk back. So this is going to be one foot in front of the other, as if you're walking on a tightrope, heel to toe. You do that? This one's a real test of balance. And you most certainly can. Very good. So that is going to conclude our testing today. I'm quite pleased with your results. There was not anything out of the ordinary, and I don't think we need to do any further testing. Do you happen to have any questions for me at all? No? Okay. I'm going to sign off here. And that will end our exam. I'd like to thank you so much for joining me for this examination. I really appreciate it. You are a model patient. I hope you have a